Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com. The 2015 Wadena Grand Slam. Full Lockwood Motorsports and the 2015 Keystone National. Scioppa Racing and ScioppaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Reckless Abandon Derby apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc.
See behind us, we're just about ready to get going here. About a half hour away. Joining me here at the table is the one and only Donnie Hartzell, making sure that we've got all the audio set for you guys. Let's just double check that real quick. Donnie, man, say hello to everybody.
What's up, everybody?
I think that's the problem that we had right there. How's that? That should be starting to work a little bit better for everybody.
How's this sound now?
Yeah, we're gonna be flirting with disaster here through the course of the night. I'm afraid we're facing some very adverse conditions right now. So we'll do the best we can to work through that for everyone and press on from there. There, how's that work for everybody? Not much better. Anyway, how about a good look at what that track looks like? There's 120 feet. You said, Donnie got some specs on this track as we were getting everything set up here tonight. How big did you say this place was?
Approximately 120, 130 foot long by 40 foot wide.
Plenty of room. We've got the limited welds that are going to be going at it for $1,000. The truck's also on deck to go for $1,000 a little bit later on tonight. And then the old school invitational, which is kind of cool. You've had to get an invite in order to participate in that. That's limited entries, 500 to win there. And then the youth compacts also going to be on the track. And that sounds like it's going to shape out to be a very wild heat. $500 going home with the winner of that event a little bit later on. All one and dones, basically 20 car maximum in each of those 4 divisions. So it's going to be a fairly quick event as you hear the fire hose being charged in the background. Start time is scheduled for 7 p.m. An eventful day to get down here, Don. I mean, no question about that. But nonetheless, we made it here just in the nick of time. We were able to run a couple quick tests on stuff and see if we couldn't get this thing straight. And now away we go.
Absolutely. I'd say they definitely got plenty enough room for the for the amount of cars they're going to be having.
How about that? If we got anything there now, that might be the trick of how to fix it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're moving up the ladder now.
Nice.
Was playing a little bit of a touch and go game there as we move through the start of it. So feeling a lot more comfortable now that Josh Buell can sufficiently hear. Hopefully, feel free to weigh in if anybody's got anything. We're fighting a little bit of as we said in the open a moment ago, fighting a little bit of a current here, so to say. When we got here, we found that the best that we've got to work with is a 3G signal, so we slowed everything down. That might be one of the reasons why things look a little bit fuzzy at home. Nonetheless, we're going to be here for the duration of the evening. Excited to be here and check out for the first time the Stoneboro Fair. Again, joining me here at the table is the one and only Donnie Hartzell, who's been making his rounds here and scoping some of the southern states, I understand.
Yes, I have. Virginia beginning of the week, and now Pennsylvania at the end of the week.
We saw some interesting things on the side of the road.
Yes, we did. Found a couple gems.
Oh, yeah. Couple gems in a two-door Monte Carlo.
Yeah, two-door Monte Carlo.
Which was 1990. I think that was 1996.
Yeah, 96.
That was the one that you were the most excited about. The $5,000 mispriced New Yorker. That was a fun one.
Yeah, well, that was definitely a fun one. Clean but fun one.
So we're gonna
that nice Imperial that we found on the way.
Turned out that wasn't an Imperial.
I know. It fooled us.
It sure looked like one, but nonetheless it was not. It was a 300 that we saw on the side of the road. Some fluctuations here, so you might be seeing some flickering there at home. Looks like everything has stabilized for the moment. So again, we're going to do the best we can with it and try and bring you a little bit of action here at the final encounter. This is the last event for the Wreckless Warriors Tour, and 2-night event. So we're going to be back here again tomorrow with The Super Stocks are going to be on the card. The Pro Mods are going to be also on the card doing the heat and feature program, in addition to seeing the compacts. $2,000 awaiting the winner of the feature in tomorrow's Pro Mod. And there are some pretty serious Imperials that are going to be here tomorrow that have been towed in all the way from Arizona, and they were built not in Pennsylvania, but instead over the border in Ohio. So I'm excited to see what that brings about. Mike DeFrecia already here, pulled a little bit of a switch on us. I wasn't expecting this, but instead of bringing a limited weld car, instead now he has brought a truck. And that truck, some interesting decisions in the build design. I think, namely, looking at the back end, he's got that back bumper tucked right up underneath the tailgate and inside the fenders. Basically, the only purpose of it being there is to hold those back rails together.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's got a truck. There was another truck that came in out of the Mad Mike shop. I'm not sure who they've got in that one. And then there's a yellow one that's got Mad Mike's on the side with number 13. I don't know if that specifically came out of Mad Mike's shop or not. But Rich Cipra here with 2 entries. He's got the truck, and he's also got a limited weld car. So he's going to be in action tonight. A lot of these guys staying in the neighborhood, and they're going to be running tomorrow as well, because you can collect points on both nights. This is basically a double points night if you look at it that way. And what Mike is doing, he's playing the odds. He's going to have better luck in the trucks, and if he pulls down those feature points in that's going to help him pad his points lead, because right now it's Mike DeFrecia, and then right on his heels is Corey Roman and then Steve Siopa, who won the first 2 events with the Wreckless Warriors tour.
That could definitely help out with doing the points thing like that.
So we saw Todd Siopa's car. It's already in the pits. Looks like it's a 2-door GM.
Yep.
Hard to believe.
I know, right?
And so he is also here, going to be running with the limited welds. Again, it is one and done, the format. So we're not going to see any heats tonight. Tomorrow, however, we will be seeing plenty of heat action with the Pro Mods. Imperials are welcome to participate. So that's it's going to be a lot of fun. Throwback a little bit, if you will. This is sort of the same rules that they had for the Keystone Nationals before they transitioned more to that limited weld style build. Still waiting for Randy Shearer to make his way over here. Randy, we had to talk a little bit with Randy here online, and now I'm hoping to get him on the show, talk a little bit about a young man that's going to be driving in the youth division here tonight, about 20 minutes away from start time. Periodically through the course tonight, just like we had in Clarion, we're probably going to end up pulling some momentary radio silence as they play music here in the arena. Appreciate everybody kind of bearing with us as we move forward with the course of the show. Certainly not shy about putting water on the track at all, are they?
Oh, absolutely not.
It's been hot here. There was a slight window of rain here that was supposed to be passing through right now. Clear skies here in the area. You can see it off in the distance as they get ready to saturate the track. That track, the amount of water that they're putting on it, nonetheless, I'm confident that the track is going to be staying very, very hard. The surface out there it's pretty tightly packed right now, so that water is going to sit on top. It might roll off towards the edges. The little bit that is going to sink in is not going to get real deep. I don't think that we're going to have any troubles with slop holes.
No, definitely not. Looks like it's rolling off now as we speak.
It's running right downhill.
Yep.
So tugging that hose back off the track. We touched a little bit on it. A number of the trucks that we saw in attendance here so far. We saw the blue team, Cipra's compatriots, also bringing their trucks out. So it looks like there's about maybe 8 trucks in the pits right now. But there is no room left in the pits in terms of limited weld cars. That place was packed tight back there.
Yes, it was.
A little bit earlier on. We almost saw a young man get his face taken off by the fire hose as they finish some track maintenance here. Going all the way to the blocks. I mean, the trucks, it's very conceivable that they could end up on our stage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I had the chance to get back on here tonight, actually. You know, if you think about it, we've been out of the loop a little bit with last week being down in Virginia, checking out the Shenandoah County Fair. Had a chance to take that in. Now here we are live tonight and tomorrow, Monday, Labor Day, so we'll probably be shuffling the weekly show a little bit later into the week, especially with the start of school and Labor Day and all those things layering in on top of each other. But first, before that, it sounds like officially the date has been set for Winter Slam presented by Napa Auto Parts and Napa up there in Garden City, Minnesota. That date looks like it's going to sit on the 13th of February. They've already reached out, so it looks like we might be going to Winter Slam one more time up there. And then looks also like we're going to be doing a live stream event October the 24th from down in Woodstock, Pennsylvania with JPG Towing and the Chaos in the Valley event, which is going to be a lot of fun. You guys are finally going to get a chance to see live what the Shenandoah Valley is all about. Billy Orndorff sweeping the action Monday and Tuesday, both nights celebrating his 30th year of Demolition Derby action over there in Woodstock. That is also a completion of his predicted sweep of the Valley action, winning Frederick County and Harrisonburg as well earlier this summer. So good runs for him, but it cost him. He wasted 2 very nice Mopars in the process.
Yes, he did, especially the back end of the one from the second night. That was wasted.
Firing on all cylinders. He had a Baldwin power plant in that, so it was it came down to the wire with him and David Klein in the second night of activity over there. Their derbies are on Monday and Tuesday, and good move by Jason Scheidt, by the way, who is the promoter of the Chaos in the Valley show and works as the lead inspector for the events at the Shenandoah County Fair. He made the right call there.
Yes, he did.
They only had about a dozen full-size cars, and they chose to run those as a one and done, and they had probably close to 30 compacts. What they typically do at the Shenandoah County Fair both nights is they have one and done for 4 cylinders, one and done for 6 cylinders, and they run those in between the heats and the feature for the V8s. Monday night they had about, I think they had maybe 12 8-cylinder cars, and it was a decent turnout for the compacts. They ran 2 heats, no consti for the full-size cars, and then the one and dones for the 4s and the 6s. Tuesday night, when that basically replicated, they ran the one and done with the V8s as the main event of the night. But before that, they ran the heat of the 4s and the heat of the 6s all together. They took 4 cars out of each, and then ran a consti, qualified another car out of that, and ran an actual feature for the 4s and 6s combined for the first time in forever down there, during the fair anyway. And that did a lot of good in terms of those guys that run in that compact division. They thought that was awesome. It was exciting for them. They had a chance to take center stage, and the fair did the right thing too. They took the money from the 4-cylinder heat that was going to be a one and done, and the money from the 6-cylinder heat that was going to be a one and done, pooled that money and created a payout for those guys. So the payout was pretty much mirroring the V8 payout, which was a real good deal. I was happy to
that was real nice when they did that.
So anxiously awaiting the start of the Great Stoneboro Fair. These folks here in the stands haven't seen anything like this before. We've talked to a couple folks as we made our way through the pits and chatted with them, and they said that this is something that's somewhat new concept, and these trucks are going to go hog wild out there. And then look, well, here, take a look at the track if the stream can support it. You'll see that it's already drying out.
Yeah.
It's soaked in pretty well. A lot of that water ran off down towards the far end of the track, and sure enough, that thing is going to be dry, hard, and fast. Come the time when we start throwing green flags out there. Everybody checking in, kind of know what the situation is. Young man here with the fire crew, Stoneboro Fire Department. You saw him moving some cables and stuff out of the way. He He advised that the stage pitches to the back, which is about where we're situated, because we wanted to stay out of everybody's way. And now the open fire hose, the fire hose connection, is leaking, and it's running water downhill directly onto where our feet are,
Yep.
which is right adjacent to where all of our power cables are. We had earlier when we were doing all the setup, we had to pull a quick change out and get rid of one of our streaming devices because that wasn't work. We also pulled a cable change, which I'm entirely confident that is tied to the rain that we experienced when we were in Clarion here just about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nowhere's close to the end of our streaming season, though, as we've talked about. Again, at the end of October, we're going to be down there for the Chaos in the Valley event, and then on top of that, coming up here in just about 2 weeks, on September the 19th, we're going to be back in Whitney Point for the Kings of Old School 2, which is their team event, V8 teams, compact teams, along with a junk run. The Power Wheel is going to be on the schedule as well. That's going to be a fun time to get down there, and you are going to be in action down there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be in the compact team, and I'm possibly might do the kicker class.
The kicker class, what are you going to take there?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet?
Nope.
Yeah, right. I don't believe that for a minute. And I appreciate everybody checking in. Everybody saying that it looks good. Our cards are on the table right now, so we'll ride this thing out. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring you some of this action. The schedule will roll off here pretty quick. Jeremy, or excuse me, I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Jimmy Zanheiser, I believe. He's been chatting with us all week long. Excited to take this thing in. Wasn't able to make it to the fair, so sure enough, wanted to take the opportunity to jump in and watch the show online at home. I mean, the stands certainly not affected whatsoever at all by the live stream at all. This place
starting
is
to
packed.
sit down by the fence in the grass.
The folks that are sitting by the fence, they're gonna want to move.
Yeah, they're going to want to move.
I don't know if we can get a peek of any of the folks that are lined up by the fence. But take a look at the grandstands here. Here, we'll get you a look at what the grandstands look like. Covered grandstands here, and that is ever so important in terms of demolition derby stuff. You know, gives everybody the opportunity to stay in the shade. And then, of course, if we catch any of that rain that's projected to come through, everybody is covered and we're not going to lose our crowd. So there's a good look at the crowd and one of the officials there. So we're going to send Donnie over there just to make a real minor tweak to get some of this stuff leveled out here, as we're about 10 minutes away from go time. Once again, we've talked about Mike DeFrecia at this point. He is leading the points with Corey Roman on his heels, and then Steve Siopa, who won the first two events with the Wreckless Warriors Tour, winning the Brookville Superstocks event, and then turned around and won the $10,000 to win Keystone National show. After that, we saw Todd Siopa winning the Limited Weld event, which was basically the mini nationals over at the Jefferson County Fair. So we'll have to see if he can't turn around and pull some more money out of the Wreckless Warriors Tour. Another good look at the crowd. So with those trucks scheduled to appear here in just a little while, we know for sure that those folks that are sitting right along the fence, they're going to be eating mud. And possibly eating truck.
Yeah.
With as high as the back end on Mike DeFrecia's truck is, and that bumper tucked so deep, it's going to be pretty easy for those trucks to get up over those concrete barriers.
I just had the one official tell me, he said for years that he's been down here, he's witnessed several cars come on this stage.
On the stage?
On the stage.
Well, that is why we are back here.
Yeah.
And Austin is up there.
Yep.
Because the most expendable member of the team is closest to the track.
Absolutely. Yep.
He's sporting his Pete Hansen shirt over there.
Yes, he is.
Pretty excited about that. We were talking about our live stream schedule coming up the 19th. We're going to be at the Kings of Old School the 24th of October. We're going to be down at the Chaos in the Valley show in Woodstock, Virginia. Also, now in the talks, Turkey Derby. Amarillo, Texas, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's right now we're trying to figure out a way if we can find a way to make that happen. It'd be outstanding if
that would be great.
We can add another state to the tick list this year, adding it to Minnesota a couple times. We've got Topeka. Remiss to not talk about that in November. The 16th, we're going to be there all week long. 12th through the 16th, Topeka, Kansas Blizzard Bash with Ultimate Derby. That's going to be it's second to none. Love going out there, but so far this year we've been to Minnesota 3 times. We've been to Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, obviously. We've had the chance to get to Kentucky. More trips to Virginia in store. Here we are back in Pennsylvania one more time. Bash for Cash in Ohio. It's been a busy season. I think this is somewhere around I think this is like the 26th or 27th Derby so far for us since February. It's been
It's awesome.
And it's been packed right tight since about the second week of July. We've been running like crazy. And basically, we left Virginia, got home around dinner time Wednesday night, got to do the birthday party with Alan on Thursday, and turned around this morning and got out of town just as quick as we could. It wasn't exactly the smoothest trip, but thankfully all the parts and pieces came together. And Todd Siopa, the Beast of the East T-shirt, which was for sale there on shop.smashedempire.com, and it is the Team Blizzard Bash shirt for Siopa Racing. It's done and it's in the van. 11th hour.
11th hour, yeah.
Danny Roberts checking in. And some pit reports coming in. Oh, boy. Donnie?
Yeah, sure.
This is just in. You need to go track down a helmet.
Yeah?
You might be in a car tonight.
That would be great.
Todd Siopa is 42 miles from the venue right now in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And I was told to get Brian Tompkins' helmet ready. But Brian, he had commitments this weekend and couldn't make the trip down. Obviously, we need somebody to run the camera, so he's going to stay right where he is. You may...
That would be great. That would be great.
We may have to take a quick break here and take you down to the Siopa pit here momentarily so that you can go get introduced to everybody.
Absolutely.
And get all the pieces and parts of this together. Welcome to Wreckless Warriors Tour, where anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And what a point swing that could be, because Todd, he had some transmission problems in the first 2 events, put a Chapman transmission in it for the Jefferson County Fair, turned around and won that thing, second place, going to Davey Chapman himself. So we'll keep an eye on that. So I'm trying to help coordinate this this as we go right now. Let's see here. Where did we go? I just told Todd, Brian isn't here, but I have a driver to help.
Absolutely.
You know anything about GMs?
No, not at all. Maybe a little bit.
Gonna be able to figure out how to shift it?
I might.
If need be. If Josh Decker didn't like you before today, he's hating you right now.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Well, Decker Wrecker.
He's home. He's got the Josh, man. Make sure you share that picture. There he is, working on his Chrysler wagon and checking in on a live stream. Josh is getting ready to get everything together so he can head over to GDS again for the second time. Ended up getting the Mad Dog Award and third place, if I remember correctly. Last time he was out over there at GDS. Sweet. Jeremy Gully stepping into a more lead role at GDS, and it's gone over pretty well. The fair board is receptive. They're listening and they're accepting his some of his suggestions. So look for some big things to come out of there in the coming years. And our thoughts with Jeremy as well. without letting everything out of the bag, just thinking of him, as his family goes through some interesting stuff, and then some condolences out to I don't know, is it fair to say to you, or is it more fair to say to Madison's Madison?
Madison Austin, yep.
Madison Austin lost their grandmother unexpectedly there Monday morning, and what a curveball it was to everybody. Didn't really see it coming quite the way that played out. All the services today, and you guys were able to make it to those things and get your mind off that a little bit and come and take in the Great Stoneboro Fair here as we wrap up the Wreckless Warriors Tour 2015. Some changes in store, it sounds like, for the Wreckless Warrior Tour going forward. This was a very, very intense schedule and a very, very intense year for everybody, with all these builds layered up on top of each other, with not to mention the Keystone Nationals, which was supposed to be a standalone event in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Funnel clouds forming over the city of Pittsburgh the same night that was supposed to happen. So obviously that was rained out due to weather, and it was moved to the 11th of July, only 2 weeks before the Jefferson County Fair, which that threw some wrenches in everybody's plans. So a lot of thrashing going on, which I think that was probably one of the reasons why we didn't see quite the car count that we were expecting to see at the mini nationals, if you will, the former home of the Keystone Nationals, at the Jefferson County Fair during their fair. But it sounds like there's some changes in line for that. But with the points really taking shape now, let's talk a little bit about what you can get. It's not necessarily point fund money waiting at the end of it, where the guy who's won the most derbies and accumulated the most points walks away with the lion's share of the money. Instead, we've had vendors all season long donating prizes. Stuff coming from folks like Near It, like a slider shaft, Big Rock Derby products, Ski Inc., HLK is involved with that, M&M Boys, MPE, Apple Tractor. Did we miss anybody? Redline Racing Engine. So the guy that wins the most points, it accumulates the most points, and is deemed the Wreckless Warrior Tour champion. They walk away with their pick of any one of those 10 prizes. So let's say you're a Baldwin guy and you don't necessarily have a need for a motor, but instead you want to upgrade your cradle combination. You can take the prize from Big Rock, or you can take the prize from Derby Parts. Or if you're in need to upgrade your slider combination, you can take the slider instead. So that motor's still on the table for second place. And first place has their pick of the 10. Second place has their pick of the remaining 9. On down, 9th place has the pick of the remaining 2. And 10th place gets whatever's left on the table. But with the caliber of prizes that's on the table for that,
I think
even though if you're 10th, you're still walking away with something pretty good.
Absolutely.
So you may be called in off the bench. Arrival time for Todd in the 501, 8:20. Got Todd all squared away. Got to keep up with all of it. So we're right on 7 o'clock. We should be seeing some cars out here on the track as some of our track officials taking a look at the conditions of the surface right now. Got a little bit of that slime on the top, and I tell you, this thing is going to run in a hurry. We're going to open. I believe the schedule is opening with the youth compacts, as we see some folks throwing headsets on. So signs pointing to getting ready to go here.
Seven right on the nose.
All right, well, sorry. I just got word that he's definitely going to make it.
Okay.
All that build up for nothing, man.
Hey,
all that tease.
It happens.
I guess maybe he's going to make him wait. Run the limited welds last.
There you go.
That way it buys him a little bit more time.
There you go.
His car's already here.
It's always nice when your car shows up before you do.
Guy Fieri walking through. At least I can only safely assume. So we gotta find some place to stay down here, and then we're gonna do this all again tomorrow. I'm kind of excited for it.
Absolutely. Especially tomorrow's show with the Imperials and all that. That's gonna be
excited
sweet.
about that.
Oh yeah.
You got an Imperial at home still.
Oh yeah.
It's been around for a little while too.
Yes, it has. Thanks to Ben Haas.
No doubt.
An awesome job building it for me.
That brought you to your first win at your hometown fair, Seneca County.
Yes, it did.
All right. Anybody else nervous about this music bleeding over? Makes me nervous listening to it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We already got Big Rock on one. Come on. We don't have an easy patch into the pits at this point, and our vantage point is a little bit blocked because we've got everything wrapped in these tarps that you can see behind us. So it's a little hard to get a bearing on where we're at in terms of what is supposed to be happening here. But again, expect a couple instances where we will probably have to maintain radio silence because of the efforts by the trackside announcer to get the crowd amped up. But this place is just about jammed to capacity right now.
Yeah, that lower half is definitely going to get a mud bath.
There's a couple cars, as you can see them, staged and ready to come out and tear some stuff up here through the course of the night.
No, we could always tell Todd, if he needs me to drive it to the track for him, I can do that. And then he can just do
drive
the
it
seat.
onto the track just so you can sit, just so you got to sit in it?
Yeah, and do the seat transfer.
You would know what to do if you got your hands on a car like that.
Oh, it definitely would be fun.
At least once, right?
Absolutely.
Check, 1, 2, there we go. Drivers meeting right here at the corner of the entrance to the track. In less than 5 minutes of drivers meeting.
All right, well, so we know we're going to be able to hear that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely loud and clear.
All right, if you're making your way into the grandstands, we do have a little bit of seating right here. I'm pointing at it. Down here, in the low bleachers, also some seating still available. Pull up some grass, if not. We're in for a treat tonight. Bo Lockwood's Wreckless Warriors, 4 divisions of demolition derby action.
tell you, that's about the clearest I heard it so far. Some of the tracks we've been to.
It's quite the PA system that they've got here, no doubt.
Absolutely.
So call has gone out for the drivers' meeting, not too far away from getting things started here at long last.
We had a couple of drivers that actually got an offender bender on their way here and were late arrivals.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
We didn't pass that on the way here.
No, we did not.
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think we passed any derby cars on trailers on our way in. So,
only right down the road here, but that was it.
Right.
Anybody out there excited about the upcoming NFL season? Ooh, can't step up that far, we find out. I know I am. I read the latest news this morning. The Cleveland Browns are going to be forced to change their name. They are going to be the Cleveland Possums. Yeah, the Cleveland Possums. So they play dead at home and get killed on the road.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Oof, careful of that joke. It's an antique.
Yes.
I got to tell you a quick story. I got two buddies,
So-
Steve and Leroy, that
I don't-
well, Steve got hurt pretty bad.
Don't know what to do
No,
with
no.
this.
Leroy, he's turned into a dog. He gets up and chases everything around town. So, other night we were sitting out, we were having a couple cold ones, and
I don't think Austin's going to be able to hear by the time we leave.
you know what,
No,
John? I ain't gonna
move this
hate
way.
her unless she's a Browns fan.
Or get behind us.
I said, what?
So, about
I
that.
will apologize in advance if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, Cincinnati Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Philadelphia Flyers, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, or a mother-in-law. I'm probably going to offend you before the evening is over. So from the bottom of my heart, it's all in good fun. All right, I see the drivers' meeting taking place to my right. We're just about set to tear them up. 4 classes tonight. Might be 5, I'm not sure. I drove 3 hours to get here from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. I travel with Bo Lockwood Motorsports. I'm the voice of Thunder Mountain Speedway on each and every Friday night in Knoxville, Pennsylvania. Late model sprints, open stocks, and pure stocks. My first time at the Great Stoneboro Fair, folks. It's a beautiful place, wonderful fair.
Is that the same guy we had at Clarion?
This is the same guy we had at Clarion, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Sure is. Yep, sure is. So we've got all that stuff done.
The guys you see in the bright green shirts that say official, and they look all dirty and hot.
Our game plan was to have the opportunity to get some of this stuff put together, get here early enough to where we could get some of this stuff put together and kind of confirm a couple of the details that we weren't able to confirm at home. But those plans went out the window as we slowly made our way through Buffalo, along with everybody else who apparently was leaving. Every place, all points from Syracuse west are pretty much empty in New York at this point. The traffic was remarkable, assuming everybody was getting ready to head off onto their last summer vacations with the Labor Day weekend. We heard this gentleman up back here talking a little bit about football and stuff. I'm going to fantasy football league with a bunch of the Derby guys. David LeJewett's in there, Michael Wise, Todd Height's in a couple of them, Jeremy Gully's in a couple of them, my wife's in it, and coming up on Monday, Chris Lancaster and Jill Lancaster, they've got a fantasy football league that we're going to be part of as well. That's not exclusively Derby people, but it is kind of cool to talk about something other than Derby cars sometimes with some of these folks. And Todd Height did pretty well. He won pretty much everything he was in last year.
Nice.
Yeah, you root for the guy on Sunday.
So again, if you're just joining us, you might see some jumpiness in the stream, or might be a little bit fuzzy. We've got a 3G signal down here, so we're fighting against a little bit of a current, so we slowed everything down to try and make it work for everybody. We're still going to be recording it here live on our end, and we're going to try and make the best of that situation as we get ready to go here. Drivers meeting wrapping up. Going to bring the first of what's scheduled to be 4 classes out here. We've got the limited world cars here that are going to be serving as the main event. We've got the trucks on deck, along with the youth compacts, and then that old school invitational, which I'm wondering now, looking at the way the car was built, that Monte Carlo that we saw come in, it might have been Rich Stipler's old school invitational car instead of the limited world car. And I don't know that, again, it was one of those things that we were trying to confirm here before we got going, and just simply the clock wasn't cooperating with us. I'm wondering if that old school invitational is going to pay points towards the Wreckless Warrior Tour.
Very true.
Because as the season has gone on any one particular night, you could only declare points collection in one of the particular classes. So given that this is a 2-night show with different classes, it's looking like basically a double points weekend. If you bring an entry that can compete in both classes, certainly gives you the opportunity to bank some serious points and move up that ladder.
Yeah, it does.
Do I have any Kyle Busch fans out there?
If they play their cards right, it'll come together for them.
Okay, we got a couple dumb people in the crowd. Anybody know what Kyle Busch fans use for birth control? Their personalities.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the Busch boys. I like the former dirt tracker, Mr. Down and Dirty, Tony Stewart. I like the guy, if I can't get by him, here comes the wall. Remember, I know
You a Tony Stewart fan?
No, sir. Junior all the way.
Yeah.
And I have a theory when it comes to NASCAR and dirt tracks, you don't have done your beer, you're not at a real race anyway.
So still awaiting the start of, oh boy, that's not good. Ryan Hale, you made me really nervous right there when I saw the picture that you posted. It's a black screen that says the stream isn't live. But it was from 47 minutes ago. He had his computer already queued up and ready to go. Looking at looking right now, we got about 40 people hanging out with us. That's great. Welcome everybody who is tuning in. We're about ready to get going. Dan Bolton checking in. He says he's going to bring Imperial down here next year. That would be awesome to see Dan Bolton come down here and run with the Imperial. New York State Fair taking place at home. We had a chance to go there and check out on Sunday, where it sounds like you might be running. Todd Height's going to be running. Our buddy in back at home, Jake Sherman, who's traveled with us in previous outings. He's scheduled to be up there. Looks like it's going to be the last year for the New York State Fair Demolition Derby, for all intents and purposes, with the
Indoor rodeo.
Creation of the equine center and some other different amenities. All of that stuff is going to result in the tearing down of the grandstand. So Super Dirt Week also looks like this year going to be the last edition of that in the form that we know. But some of the conversation that's been going around is we may be. How cool would it be if Oswego Speedway, the 5/8 mile track in Oswego, up there on Lake Ontario, coat that baby in dirt and have Super Dirt Week there.
That would be cool. I'd like to see somebody definitely pick it up, not end it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be it's going to be the first domino to fall in a series of pretty aggressive pretty aggressive series of events where you're probably going to see a lot of promoters in New York jump up and try to either create an event or adjust their schedule to include some form of New York State Championship, which I thought was a good move. The first couple of people that I heard say that they wanted to try it, but now we've got 5, 6, 7 different promoters that want to try and do something, and it's going to be the guy who is willing to lose the money the longest that's going to be the last one standing.
Absolutely.
Because the car counts are going to be rough, because everybody's going to look for a number of different things. They're looking for the rules that are used. They're going to look at location. They're going to look at money, and all those factors are going to eventually play against themselves as everybody sort of cuts their own throat, and it's going to be. It's going to be a challenge, but the guy that can stay in there the longest.
And a compact, but you never know. Compact's won in previous years.
Right.
So
he's done it before. They had a pretty good showing there the last couple of years. Travis Charleston coming away with a podium finish. Corey Neer, I believe, was third behind him. And one of the guys from up in Malone, Austin Martin, I believe, was the guy that won that Derby last year. Now, he had a Lincoln. He had a full-size car, but Travis Charleston, we've seen him do some pretty serious damage in Luminous up there in Austin's neck of the woods. So we'll have to see what comes of it as we move towards Sunday's event at the New York State Fairgrounds, what proves to most likely be the final demolition derby at the hallowed grounds there in Syracuse on the front stretch. Looks like they're still going to be able to have the concerts there without any problems, so rest assured, just have your opportunity to see Cole Swingle next year.
in Chevy Court.
Yeah, we sort of ran into him kind of in Woodstock after he played the New York State Fair up there in Syracuse. He turned around and had a date down in at the Shenandoah County Fair right there on the stage where they were scoring.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not counting all the mud and the debris flying, and
that track has soaked up all that water. There's a little bit of slime on top now, and that's about it. We see the green-shirted officials now making their way towards the stage. It looks like we're going to be getting a little bit closer to having some activity here on the track. Running about 15 minutes late here. Our track announcer here in the wings has settled down a little bit, so we can chat a little bit more about the Wreckless Warriors tour as a whole. I think it was a successful venture. I mean, I'm sure that the sponsors were happy about it. They had a ton of cars that were following that thing front to back all year long on the Wreckless Warriors tour. There we go. Trying to track down that latest points update, but the computer not necessarily interested in cooperating at this juncture. Again, the running order for tonight is Youth Compacts, the Throwback Class Limited Welds, and then the trucks. Tomorrow night, we've got the Power Wheels on deck. Again, the show starts at 7. Our show starts at 6:30. Power Wheels will be followed by the Pro Class Heats tomorrow. The Compact feature then goes off the beam. Rick and Mike DeFreesia getting hung together. At that point, Rick pulls an old school shifter out from under his seat and tries to wedge himself free get that bumper off the pillar. So
that's called determination.
Let's see if this tab here has got what we're looking for. I know at one point we had that stuff all queued up, and once we started losing internet signal and things like that, we had to sort of pull the plug on that. So we regrouped. Here we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
So officially the word has gone out that we are about ready to get everything on its feet, up and running and ready to go.
Gentlemen, remove those ball caps. Please bow your heads.
bags too if you want some.
Alrighty, folks. Are you ready to rock them?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ready to get everything started here. Special thanks to our internet provider, E2 Demolition Derby Sliders, and one of the primary backers now joining up with the entire live stream program that Crash Course offers on a regular basis. We've got Overkill Derby Products, one of the original vendors that came out of the blocks at any point. We've got Overkill, joining us. So special thanks to them, and then of course our internet provider tonight, E2 Demolition Derby Sliders. The 7-Eleven that we see coming out onto the track, that is the Henshaw entry. Heard that this is going to be an animal of a car. Ready and excited to watch him. And this is the half fast car. Blaine Shearer aboard that one, and we'll be watching him as well. So this is the youth division. This is Geiger coming out in car number 92. Giant roof sign on that. Not going to be able to mistake him.
Yeah, that definitely is a big roof sign. Next one, too.
James Redica, Wood City 05. Ribbon Guthrie, 107. Sherry Blake, Titusville. Whoa, sorry, that's me being too close to something. And the 11, Josie Edmond, Fort City. 618.
And this is the Demo Derby Masters starting lineup. We see everybody coming out and taking their spot on the opening grid. Once again, the Wreckless Warriors Tour is presented by the following folks. The Keystone Nationals, of course, which is the flagship event, paying $10,000 to win this year. Crash Course Podcast, Derby Inc. Magazine, Sunoco Race Fuels, Apple Tractor, Joker Industries, and Joker Derby Parts. Again, all these cars on the track are youth division entries. Shane Neinhart, as you see him pulling in, this comes a 315. DK Derby Company, some of the best tires and parts that you can come across. Brand new slider shafts, derbyparts.com, HLK Derby Rims, Big Rock Products, AFAB Metalworks, MOP Derby Products, Redline Racing Engines, and Ski Inc. So again, to give you the rundown on kind of what we're looking at in terms of those points, to look at a little bit later on here. Mike DeFrecia leading it, having entered 4 events, running in 2 features. Earning so far $3,100, 187 points. Only 3 points behind him is Corey Roman, having entered 4 events as well, making all 4 features. Steve Siopa entered in 3 events, making 3 features, coming up with 2 wins though so far, along with 3 top 5s. $15,000 in winnings. He's 12 points off the pace. Rich Riddinger, we saw the Psycho car out there in the pits a little bit earlier, 23 points off the lead pace. Josh Kuhn in 11 is made 4 appearances, has qualified for 3 features, 24 points off the pace. Davey Chapman, Rich Zipper, David Day, Ken Cascade, Mike Klinger rounding out your top 10. Rick Clark, the winner from Clarion last time we were together, right now sitting in 11th. Big shot taken in the back end right there.
Looks like Chapman's boy.
No lineup provided for us at this point, so we're going to kind of just wing it and let you enjoy the show. You can hear the announcer bleeding over on us as well. Here comes a good shot, wind up, turns up the wick, the 11 car, the 11T0011 as well. Good shot on the Shearer car, that left rear corner, took a lick, and that tire is now flat. A lot of compact cars out here being driven by the youngsters. The Van Horn number 71 wedged in now on the number 17R. Probably the best looking car on the track is that 17R, just to the left of where we're at. There we go. You get a bit of a look at him as he moves backwards. Takes shot from that number 530. Right in front of you, you see a right front tire blow being delivered on the number 55. Henshaw picking away at the back of the number 55, and now goes nose to nose. The bumper getting up and over the 315 front bumper. The 401 trying to break himself free. Look at that, right in your living room. There's Henshaw. And he's wedged in with that number 315 car.
That's a pretty good hit by 71.
First red flag of the night.
Red flag from our officials. Clear some of the carnage off of the track. Do you have your chin strap on your helmet? I saw it fly. Do you have your chin strap buckled? All right, your helmet comes off. We're stopping it. We'll go get a pumpkin and carve it and stick it over your head. Right, we got a guy coming out. Go get a hot sausage, you'll feel better. Always makes me feel better to look at.
Here comes the 530 with a cannon of a shot in that left rear corner. One of the things that I like about these kids, they have no bad habits yet. They're just out there to blast stuff. I mean, going
Yes,
end to end. You've been out there with Madison a couple times. Your daughter, she's got a win under her belt, and you've driven with Austin. How difficult is it to be a guest rider in these cars?
Very difficult. Very difficult. You need something to hang on to for sure.
As a driver, I mean, you got a couple wins now at the Second County Fair, and you've had success on other tracks here. As we watch the 315 make his way down the track, Zach Herman, somebody stole your number. You've seen a lot of these shows. You've driven a lot of races. In the passenger seat, is it hard because you have no control? Are you find yourself reaching for the shifter, trying to spin the wheel, trying to find the brake?
Oh, absolutely. You definitely want to reach for that wheel or the shifter, and you're constantly trying to look back to see what you got to do next. It's definitely a different feeling. It's hard to do.
You can tell the drivers that have done this a couple times before because they're being a little bit more selective with the shot, and they're directing a lot of those impacts to the front wheels, trying to knock the steering out, trying to get to those CVs. And again, this is a one and done as we see some thickening cloud cover now coming in the area, and the wind definitely picking up. So we'll have to monitor this situation as it develops. Looks like everybody in terms of our team at this point is pretty well covered, along with Austin, who is covered in mud head to toe at this point. One of those cars had died right in front of him there briefly, spinning the tires and cranked him full of mud and debris. As you see the Shearer car piling in on that wagon. Look at how far that back road is starting to belly now, right at the front seat.
Yes, it is.
Fire under the hood, that's going to do it. All done.
It's freezing, he said.
brief red flag for that fire situation that we're looking at in the middle of the track. Look at that young guy right there in the middle. He's actually dead centering your screen. He's pulling himself up on the steering wheel so he can see over the nose.
He forgot his booster seat.
And while we have a minute, I want to thank our bosses of the Wreckless Warriors. Bo right in front of me here, black shirt, and Lori over here. We answer them, they put it all together, do all the hard work. Give a round of applause, crowd. Thank you much.
How about this action, huh?
I'm telling you, man, the trucks heat is always fun to watch. Anytime you get this many of them out there, and boy, they are blasting each other. That's looking pretty violent. A couple guys have been knocked down to the floor on the back.
Let the field thin out.
I mean, they've been out there hitting doors and box sides. They're not doing anything to each other. Boy, look at the 8 right front wheel laid right over. Problems developing for him. Right front tire not only steering jammed up on it and pulled out, but he's also got the front tire jammed. That is forcing him to use a lot of RPM to try and get any forward momentum going. And those back wheels are just spinning as the rain continues to pound Stoneboro Fair.
Who do you like to come out on top of this race, Chris? Who do you like?
Mike the Fish is a hard one to bet against right now. Mike the Fish and Corey Roman, that truck isn't going to bend. And if Mike has problems developing right now, over there on the far side, he's got that refired. Boy, I mean, if he goes out early right now, that really is going to be an issue, especially if Corey can go a little bit deeper in this. Now, Steve has a car for the limited welds as well tonight, right?
Yeah, Steve has a fresh wagon for tonight. And how he does tonight, he'll take it home, put some kickers in it overnight, and be back tomorrow.
So, I mean, he's looking at running both nights, double points weekend for him.
Right,
and,
right.
Officially from Bo Lockwood, it is a double points night because he told he can score points both Friday and Saturday.
Right, right. My car was the new Alex Championship car, and I think I was cutting the most out of anybody. I find that hard to believe.
Going to watch the right front corner of that number 76. Could have some steering problems developing. Look how much the 505 is bellied. And that's
a great driver right there, number 76, Andy Bort.
Broken drive shaft on the number 505. The rest of it just spit out of the tail housing. You can see it laying right there underneath it. The 505, broken drive shaft. He's all done. Looking like we might be down to our final 5 here.
Yeah, Andy Bort lost steering.
Yeah, we were watching that coming apart there. He's got major steering issues taken for him on the number 76. Anthony, is that Mike DeFreeze just took a bad shot in the back end, right rear corner is where he got tagged.
Andy Bort's trying to spin around and trying for someone to hit him to get out of that corner up there. Trying to make a qualifying hit.
015 still in there, 013 still in the mix as well. Sickle still out there. Excuse me, Joey Pernice still out there. We've also got Corey Roman, the 013. We may have lost Mike DeFreeze. So now Corey Roman really in control of his own destiny with only 3 cars running and moving against him, one of them being the 007 of Pernice and that 013. Pernice just had a front bumper ripped off. It had been wedged up quite a ways, but now it got hooked on the back wheel well of the number 834 of Roman, and it pulled the whole thing off. So we've got the 013, Corey Roman, and the 007 of Joey Pernice. Roman trying to get the 505 stuck on the blocks. He wisely turned out of it. Oh, excuse me. That isn't Joey Pernice. That's the number 8. My mistake.
Joey Pernice is 007.
I saw the black truck and I saw the way that nose was bending. I thought that was Pernice, but Pernice has been out for a little while. Misidentified. That is the number 8 and the 013. Still running and moving. Corey Roman getting some room to work with now. He turns the wick up on this. Crosshairs firmly affixed on the 013. Being a little bit selective with his shot placement right now. Boy, that sounded hard. Bumper to bumper. Oh, swing and a miss. Didn't make a very quality shot right there. He had an opportunity to really capitalize, bringing possibly even down to 2 trucks.
Yeah, he did.
But totally missed it. Have to watch that. It could be a steering issue that's developing on that number 013. Corey Roman appears to possibly even be stuck over there as he's trying to back out. There we go. He's got himself free. And here comes the 013 turning around, looking at him eye to eye. Boy, did that thing buckle. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
wow.
Not good. And Roman's going for it one more time. Loose bumper on the track now. 013, trying to protect that back end. Here comes Roman with an opportunity. Chooses not to take it. Instead turns it around. Now he's got a shot on the front end dialed in.
Corey Roman's truck is just running so cool right now. What motor does he have in there, Chris? Do you know?
Not for sure. I tell you what, that number 8 truck has a nice motor in it too. Broken steering for Corey Roman. Left front wheel is broken loose. shot by Corey Roman right there. Wow.
Almost a rollover there.
We might be down to 3 if this 8 truck can't get it straightened out. He's got steering issues. Trying to dog walk it over, crab walking it, backing up, going forward until the point where it starts to turn, and going back.
Looks Corey Roman's in complete control now.
Corey Roman now getting ganged down a little bit. By that shot, jumped those rear rails. Corey Roman really sent those rails down on that 013.
So, Chris, if Corey wins this race, how many points does that give him?
That'll give him 20.
And what place is he in right now?
Second. 3
He's in
points
second.
behind.
Okay. So, conceivably, if he wins tonight and tomorrow night, he'll most likely be the champ.
Most likely, yep.
Yeah. How ironic is the car that he's running tomorrow night is Mark Siopa's old Imperial that he won the Pro Class with the last time at the red subframer. Yeah, that's Corey's car now.
Wow.
How ironic would that be, huh?
That'd be something, wouldn't it? There is your winner, Corey Roman, coming away with a victory in
Pennsylvania. We call the Gladiator, Corey Roman. 013X and also the 8-ball.
It was a good race.
Three drivers to the announcer's stand. One more demo coming up, don't go anywhere. Dan, crank up the tunes.
Oh, there's a good look at it. Corey Roman as he celebrates his win. Rain has subsided at least somewhat so far. Which is a good sign as limited world cars ready to come out next. A lot of debris left on the track. I mean, my goodness, they left a lot of stuff out there. So how do you think Joey did?
Are you talking about Joey Pernice?
Joey Pernice.
He was in that race.
Yes. The 007 was. I thought it was him. They introduced it as Joey.
Really? I don't think it was Joey Pernice.
Okay.
Joey Pernice was in school this afternoon when I texted him.
I don't know.
And he came out with Steve. I don't think it was Joe Pernice.
So 007 with the James Bond thing, there's only one person on the planet that's allowed to run that, and it's Joey Pernice.
No kidding.
Right?
I guess, yeah, pretty much. I'm going to have to go back and check. I didn't know he was running.
Maybe it wasn't him. I could have swore that they introduced him. We don't have the rosters down here, you know what I mean? So we're fighting uphill a little bit.
Yeah. That would have been awesome if it was Joey Pernice, I can tell you that.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe somebody just got an awful lot of credit.
I was just listening. I was like, that's awesome.
On the plus side, only about 15 people are trying to watch. What can you do?
Yeah. But everyone will tune in tomorrow when you load it up.
Yeah, we'll get it all up there.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah. It usually happens when you come to these county fairs that are up in the mountains or out in the country. They don't have very good signals up here.
Did what we could do. You see, happy to, yeah.
Both. Steve, who was 007 out there?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't Joey Pernice, was it?
It was on our stream.
Talk to him about
Sure.
Want to introduce him?
Yeah, we'll do something.
All right. Come here, Preston.
All right. There you go. Now make sure you jump right up on that microphone, okay? So everybody can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right. So Preston Henshaw joining me here on the podcast, man. Congratulations. You had a pretty good time out there. Good running those compacts.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about the run. You were laying some haymakers out there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I backed off. We had a game plan. I didn't really follow it. He said to go easy, and I just floored it.
And who was riding with you?
Steve Siopa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good coach, right?
Yeah.
So from here, when are you going to be able to get in a big car? Because you're only 12 now, right?
Yeah.
So you got a little while.
Yeah.
Was that your first one?
Yep.
So but you've been hooked long before you ever got inside that compact.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
I've been doing this before I was even 1 year old. Like my first derby, I was like 6 months old.
Right.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about what you like in terms of driving derby cars. I mean, what's your favorite part about building them?
Building them, I just like getting out in the garage and getting in the car and it's just fun to build them.
Right. Then
Yeah.
do you have a favorite car?
I like Crown Vics, but I'm not old enough to drive them.
Right. So you
Yeah.
got to stick with these compacts.
Yeah.
You got a favorite compact yet?
Yeah, my Cavalier.
Yeah. What was it like out there? I mean, that track was awful hard. It looked awful fast.
Oh, yeah. Every chance I got, I just take the opportunity, and I guess better luck next time.
You going to be able to run it again this year?
Oh, yeah. We'll
Where?
get it fixed up. Probably Hookstown, maybe.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was pretty fun out there.
Yeah. What do you do in your spare time?
I play football. Usually that. Like, go to practice. And then
Are you back to school yet?
Yeah.
When did that start?
Last week.
Yeah.
Last Monday.
Did you miss school today?
Huh. I went, but it was the longest day of school ever. Looking at the clock, just waiting for the derby. I'm like, come on, come on.
So do you have any Matchbox cars at home that have been converted into derby cars?
Yep, a lot. Probably all of them.
All of them. My boy's the same way, but he's only half your age. He just turned 6 yesterday. So I think Dad's pretty happy about this.
Oh yeah.
Ask him how his co-pilot was. He's scared.
How much did you scare your co-pilot?
He said He got his bell rung a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was more nervous than me.
Just gotta make you feel pretty good that you made somebody like Steve Siopa nervous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there anybody out there that you were looking to put a good hit on?
Yeah.
Who?
Half fast, Randy Shear's son.
Yeah.
And that was my first hit. I went from one end of the track to the other, full throttle, and I packed the back into the back seat.
Nice. How did he feel about it?
I didn't even think he knew it was me.
Well, he does now.
Yeah. I just backed up and I just kept going. I was like, yeah.
Now, why'd you want to get him?
Just because I know him.
So how many times when you were going up and down the track wide open did you have Steve doing this, pulling away from the wheel, making him nervous? Did you see him cringe a couple times?
Yeah, he would like grab my shoulder and be like, slow down, slow down.
Really?
Yeah, like when I went and hit Randy Shear's son, he was like, whoa, settle down, settle down. I just full throttle.
Like, we're not out here to win $10,000. We're out here to win a trophy.
Yeah. Mad dog.
Did it work?
Nope.
Ah, that's too bad. Did it hurt the car at all? I mean, did the nose move?
No, the front didn't move at all.
No.
The back, it packed in a little bit. I think one side of the axle slid out, and then I was having some trouble steering it a little bit, and it wouldn't go into gear, and that's why Steve had to pull the flag.
What was the problem? Did you figure out why it wouldn't go into gear?
People are telling me the K member was on the ground. My dad thinks it's just something wrong with the transmission.
Well, if the K member's on the ground, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. And I had a flat tire, and yeah. It was rough. I smacked my head off the steering wheel a couple times.
Did you? Now, did you have to sit on top of a phone book in order to steer with the steering wheel? No.
Nope.
No.
Drivers from the last round, and the overtime. Oops, sorry, throwback. I wanted to say that. So I need my key drivers from the throwback, and I need my drivers from the truck demo up here at the announcer stand. It's the big booth next.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun.
That's good. I'm glad you had a good time. So I mean, your goal now, you want to get into a point where you're driving some of those big cars.
Oh yeah.
You still got about what, 5 years before they let you get into a big one.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go jump right into the limited weld stuff. None of the screwing around with stock.
Pro mod if it's still alive. My dad has a Vic for a pro mod class. It's a tank.
He's driving that tomorrow.
He's an official.
Right answer. Where does he want to run that? Is he just hanging on to it for a while, or has he got some place he wants to run it this year?
He's just trying. Every time he sees pro mod, he tries to run there. But since we've been building my car in the garage, his has been sitting outside. I mean, we've got to put new kickers in it, new transmission, put the motor back in it. We got a lot of stuff to do to it.
How long did it take for you to build your car?
We started early winter.
Yeah.
And we just got it done like last week. Yeah, we put a lot of time into it and a lot of thought.
So, how much of the building did you get to do?
I did a fair 50%.
Yeah?
I cut all the cage pieces, grinded them all up. My dad did the welding and stuff,
Right.
but
Did he let you try welding?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Why not?
Because I have no experience with the welder, and for my car, he wants it to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like my dad's like OCD. He's got to have everything perfect. Like our cars are always super clean.
Right. Where did your car come from?
He bought it off of one of his friends, Dakota Patson, I think is how you pronounce his last name.
Yep.
We bought it off of him.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was an Easter present.
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
How big was the egg that fit in?
Oh. It was, but I was pretty excited.
So you were planning all along to run this show, or were you trying to run it at an earlier show or someplace else?
This was the show I planned to run at.
Yeah.
Cause like it's just I don't live too far away from here, and it's just like a small derby, and why not start off at a small derby? I mean, first derby, small derby.
What'd you think of the trucks?
Oh, the trucks were nice. I was pretty happy Corey Roman pulled off the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have somebody that you call a favorite driver, or you've been so close to the sport now that kind of stuff doesn't affect you?
I have 3 or 4.
Like who?
My dad, Steve, Todd, and Mark Siopa.
Good choices.
I've been, like, my dad's been real close with them, like, since, like, he was my age and stuff, and we're always at their shops and stuff.
Right.
Like, yeah.
You ever want to try a truck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trucks look really fun. Cause you
I
can
talked to
just
Todd
go.
over here a few minutes ago. He said, no way. No way is he going to mess around with that.
My dad wants to build a truck.
Yeah.
I just want to get in a truck because if you build them right, you can just go nuts with them.
Yes, that's 100% true.
Yeah. I like going full throttle.
I rode with Jeremy Gully. The only time I've ever been in a derby car, I rode with Jeremy Gully, and he did exactly what you just said. He went nuts, and I ended up smashing my legs off the dash bar, and it split my shin open down to the bone. I had to go get stitches. So you're braver than me.
I pulled out onto the track, and I was super nervous, and I pulled out onto the track, got lined up, put in reverse, put on the brake, getting ready. As soon as I heard him count it down, butterflies went away. I'm like, okay, it's game time. Pulled off the line, and I just went nuts from there.
So we found out it was John Rode in the 007 from Fredonia Tire that was out there in the trucks. We misidentified him, even though he had the James Bond style 007 like Joey Pernice. It was John Rode from Fredonia Tire in the 007. So make that correction for everybody. It looks like, to be honest, it looks a little bit like our stream has stabilized some. I don't know what that means for going forward, but apparently, as long as you're on the camera, the stream is fine. So we'll just have to leave you here the rest of the night. That okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good with that?
Yeah, I also left out, one of my other favorite drivers is Joey.
Joey Pernice?
Yeah, he inspired me a lot. Like, I was at his first derby, and over the years, he's just been talking to me, like, just getting me ready and tell me what it's like.
Did it take a lot of amping you up in order to get you ready to go out in here, or you were?
I was all ready. Ever since I woke up, I hopped out of bed, got dressed, ran out to the bus. I'm like, come on, when's the day over?
So what grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade. Was there any performance contingencies on school? You had to pull X grades or whatever along those lines in order to come to derbies and stuff like that?
No.
No. Good enough student where you never had to get threatened with that?
Yeah.
A pluses?
No, not A pluses. Not A pluses. Mostly, I'm consistent with like all B's and like 1A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite subject? Welding? Shop?
Probably. Probably social studies.
Social studies.
I like learning about history.
Well, you made history tonight.
Yeah.
I believe at this point you were the youngest guest that's ever been on the show.
Really?
I believe so.
Well, I'm honored.
Well, actually, I don't know. Do I count my kid or not? What do you think?
You can count them.
Count him?
Yeah.
So you're the second youngest.
Yeah.
And Todd Siopa, I think, is still the oldest.
Andy Bortz has been running that truck forever.
Yeah, that truck's been around a little bit, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be able to buy that truck and run it
Probably.
for 5 years after that.
Yeah. If his steering doesn't break, he's always my favorite to watch in the trucks.
He shows up a lot of times. He doesn't get a chance to run against a lot of trucks. It's usually just one other Suburban or something like that. But, tonight he showed his worth and how good of a builder he is. He was out there with some pretty good stuff, and he got down to 5th place before losing the steering. Yeah.
I mean, I watched him. My dad ran at Jamestown, and at Jamestown, the very first hit he made, he broke his steering, and he carried it all the way down to 1st place.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
Remember
that takes
Pete
some
Hansen
skill.
last year? How about, in terms of your favorite drivers, how about Josh Decker? Where's he fall?
Josh Decker?
Yeah.
He's a hard hitter.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really know him. I just like to watch him because he puts on a show. So I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but I definitely enjoy watching him.
Well, he's watching right now.
Yeah, he's definitely a mad dog.
He's gonna love that. Yep, and then Ben and Brian both drive. They've been on the show, and Austin and Donnie both drive that are helping us out tonight. And Jake Sherman's another guy. He drives a lot of compacts. He's big on the W body stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all getting ready for the state fair back at home.
Where's that at?
Syracuse, New York. Tomorrow, it's coming up on Sunday.
Syracuse, New York.
Road trip for you. Probably only from here, maybe 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
What else have you got to do on a Sunday, right?
True.
You got
Work on
Monday
the derby
off.
car. Yeah. We'll probably pull the car into the garage and fix it up for the next one.
Taking it off himself, it's never a good feeling. Still had a little bit of life left to give after it got bottled up down there. No steering on the number 8, and that ended his night. He had a good run for a while there. I thought that was the road car. I got him confused with John Rode in the 007.
Yeah.
So the modifieds, or excuse me, the limited weld cars ready to come out here next. It looked like there was about maybe 15 of them or so out there. That throwback class was cool. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Dale Myers. Ooh, he put on a show. I heard that Mark's running in Todd's car.
That's true. Yep.
That'll be a good show.
Yeah.
Steve and Mark and Todd, those three together, they're always a good competition. Like, they're always fun to watch.
There is Psycho Rich Reininger in the Psycho car, and that black Ford. Coming up behind him is the 1903, the football window Lincoln. Behind him, that's Jared Talbot, I believe, in the 204. 1,000 going home with the winner of this. Last man standing is coming away with $1,000 in the Friday night full-size championship. As we see, car 56, another one of the Crown Vics coming out onto the track. Taking from Dane Clark in the Anarchy car with the Pittsburgh logo firmly planted on the fender of the Anarchy car. The 454 all the way in from Ontario, Canada. That it looks like a Plymouth from Ontario, Canada. That is Ron McClung in the 454. We saw him have a remarkable run over in Clarion in that stock car. The 002, the fresh wagon. That is the two-time Wreckless Warriors Tour winner. Steve Siopa. Next to him is a Crown Vic driven by Rick Clark. And that looks a lot like a car that I saw him run in Sandusky, Ohio a year ago, but I'm not sure. I have to get a better look at the back. David Day with his Riviera trying one more time in it. So we're up to 3, 6, 9 cars on the track right now. And waiting to see if that's all we're going to get. So we might have incidentally miscounted some of the gentlemen that are coming out for this event and included some of those throwback cars. So Mark Siopa coming out in the 501. There's 10 right there.
In the 11, Josh Colton's out of West Alexander. 501.
And there's Mark Siopa.
And Josh Kuhn in the 11 out there as well. So that's bringing us up, approaching that dozen number. Davey Chapman also making the trip in car number 43, snugging in a line. So you got a favorite out here? I kind of know who you're going to gravitate to. Who's going to win this thing?
Hard to say. Davey Chapman, he's also one of my favorites.
Steve Siopa, in terms of points, has to perform well in order to keep up, especially with Corey Roman winning earlier tonight.
And he's got to top off Mad Mike DeFricio.
3-time national champion Mark Siopa on board. Todd Siopa's number 501. Ron McClung, sentimental favorite for me. That is a Plymouth. Got to go for him. I believe that's a stacked headlight 68 Plymouth Fury.
And I believe that car that Mark is driving was Steve's car from Brookville. I believe that's the car.
The car that Steve is driving was Mark's car from Brookville at the Keystone National.
I think the car that Mark is driving right now, I think that was Steve from Brookville.
I follow what you're saying. About ready to roll off with the championship of the evening. Here we go. Countdown in full effect. Swinging down the track, went after swinging a miss, didn't hit anybody. As we see the 501 of Mark Cleopa snug it up into the back. Yeah, it sure does look an awful lot like that car. You called it. That looks like that one that he had, the Riviera. And Rick Clark takes a shot in the left rear corner. That is not the car that I thought it was, initially identifying it as a different entry. So here we go. Ron McClung trying to get himself out of trouble in that Y-framer as Cleopa slugs the nose. Dane Clark shoves his way being a bully in the amateur car. And you see Ron McClung shucking and driving in front of Radiger in the Psycho car. Hard shot delivered on that right rear corner. Psycho comes cutting across the middle, trying to put a shot on the 501 out Mark Cleopa. Here comes around the club. Went right after that drive axle. Hard shot delivered, and that did bend the steel beadlock on the 501. Still have everybody running and moving at this juncture. Back wheels way up off the ground for Dane Clark, being dragged around like a rag doll. There he goes. Waiting for somebody to come and knock him off of his perch. Left rear corner really opened up on the 501 of Mark Cleopa. We see a couple guys now slugging away. What a shot that was, right into the back of the Psycho car. Right rear corner, totally gutted. It caused him to stall. Psycho holding still, about to get hit one more time. And luckily the bumper got hooked, otherwise that would have been a catastrophic shot to take. Limited Weld Championship on track here, the final encounter. Trying to crown the 2015 Wreckless Warriors champion. Back end around McClung, 454, really getting torn up now. The blue and black colors on that Plymouth. The back end really getting torn apart, absolutely shredded. Josh Coons in another 11, backing it up. Ron McClung also getting real aggressive in the 454. Saw Steve Cleopa make that Steve Cleopa in another one too. Really winding up there momentarily. What do you think of the chances so far?
This is very, they're hitting very hard.
Boy, Dane Clark has popped the right rear corner of one of the cars down here far. Here comes David Day. Right into the left front fender of David Chapman. Ron McClung on the 454 looking for a soft landing. Dangerously close to the driver's door for the 454. There is a good look at Mark Fiopa on board the 501. He backs on the track, moves up a little bit. He's riding her. Somebody's got a motor singing over there. David Day holding still now in the 217. Hewins in the 11 going nose to nose right there with Dane Clark's Anarchy truck. Steering problems at opening 4, Hewins in the number 11. Radiator shot by Mark Fiopa in the 501. Jared Talbot in the 204. Being chased now by the 501. Here comes Rick Clark. Steve Fiopa, what a shot that was, delivered right front center on the right rear corner of Dane Clark. Really waffled the back frame rail and body of that Crown Vic. Nose starting to looks like maybe going a little bit on the 501. Piles right into that right rear corner. Davey Chapman's out there in his square body Ford Riviera. Mark Fiopa back way up there. Nose to nose, Rick Clark driving into that right front corner of the 501. Talbot quick to follow in now, and his Josh Hewins, front and center. Sayulpa. Here comes Psycho in the riding there in the Psycho car. Getting a little bit hot. You see those blue candles beginning to light up off the top of the stack. Sayulpa has the crosshairs locked. Misses. Looks like we're calling for a quick red flag.
Good show so far. Good show so far.
Oh, it's been an outstanding show. Look at the back of Steve Sayulpa's wagon. It's starting to arch up a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of that damage has come at the hands of Rick Clark's front end. Rick Clark is the one who's right now parked on that pillar and buckling the roof up. Officials out there talking to everyone. I assume that it's a conversation quickly, just to tell everybody, pick up the pace. Taking a shot in the dark that's the conversation that's being had on the track right now. So glad everybody could join us at home. This presentation being presented by Big Rock Products, Red Lion Racing Engines, Wreckless Warriors, Keystone Nationals, Ski Inc., Brian Neer, DerbyParts.com, E2 Demolition Sliders, and Overkill Derby, OverkillDerby.com. Blizzard Bash, Capital Carnage, Kings of Old School, and Chaos in the Valley. Here we go. Green flag back out, and you see Sayulpa trying to shove the Ford backwards, trying to get him hung on something. See a couple guys now leaving the frame. Talbot quick to follow in. You know JC Molly? He watched tonight. He said you did a nice job. Sayulpa getting shoved into, looks like Rick Clark, the 501 right there on top of him as well.
I just got hit with a chunk of mud.
Keelan takes advantage of the opportunity and blasts the back of Talbot. As they were warned, those guys have really turned up the wick. Lots of action out there. Keelan's again going after the 43. And in the 02, 43 David Canada, the 02 Rick Clark from Canada. Rain locally has some side and track running it very well. All kinds of grip out there. These guys really pushing the pace. Dane Clark smoking heavily. Looks like he's got radiator trouble developing. Pushing a lot of water out that overflow right in the corner, laid right over after he took that shot from Steve Siopa in the middle stages of what is leading into the Limited World Championship. Looking for the last car standing. Talbot working under the dash. Mark Siopa picks at the bones. Doing blast the right front corner of Talbot's entry. Backs it up now, and the nose really beginning to rise up on the 501 entry. Ripping at the fenders, going at the firewall. Rick Clark handing his way down the track, makes contact with the Anarchy car of Dane Clark. Clark catching the right front corner and shoving that nose up a little bit further. We see Chapman still in the fray. David Chapman able to get his car refired. See Steve Syop trying to get into the axles and back wheels of the number 11 of Josh Kuhn. Chapman right now desperately trying to refire, pumping a lot of black smoke. He's got it running. Another shot and a stall, trying to get that to refire one more time. Steve Syop looking like he's in a catbird seat right now, and able to work with a lot of track around him. Mark Syop and maybe Dane Clark. Wedged in nose to nose. Yep, there he is, Dane Clark. And Mark Syop nose to nose along with Josh Stewens in the mix in the number 11. Clark continuing to push water in a heavy fashion, pushing a lot of steam out of it. So at this point, officially, it looks like we've only got 3 cars out of the running. Excuse me, 4 rather. We've got Ron McClung, the 217 of David Day, the 204 of Jared Talbot, and then that red Lincoln up there at the top of your screen. You can see in the distance towards the back. Otherwise, everybody's still running and moving. This is probably somewhere around 11. Well, that didn't sound good at all.
Not at all.
Looks like Chapman might be up the creek at this point. In the number 43, problems developing, pouring and no black. He's trying to get that to refire, but we may have lost Chapman. Sounds like a transmission has gone away from... That might be Steve Siopa.
I see sparks under his car.
Look at all the stuff dripping from underneath him. You can see all the stuff dripping. Molten metal coming out from underneath the underside of the machine. He's all done. Calling for a fire.
That can't be good. It's like dripping. It's like a liquid, but it's like on fire.
Things going from bad to worse underneath the 002.
Whoa, on fire.
Trying to make an assessment of what it is that's on fire underneath there.
He put on a good show.
They got it out. They did for a second.
Now it's back again. When I crawled out of my car and I ran out of the track, I saw that when they pulled the green flag again, a car caught on fire in the compact.
Did you see that thing go up? That was crazy.
I was like, oh boy.
Cousin Mark! Cousin Mark!
Tom Siopa animated as we go through this reckless abandoned red flag, pulling for Cousin Mark now in the 001. Correction, the 501.
Todd seemed pretty hyper.
Todd's always hyper. He's an excitable guy.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got that situation under control trackside. Gonna lose the 002. I haven't seen Rick Clark in the last few minutes, but I don't see his car anywhere either.
I think it might be down at the other end of the track. I'm not sure though.
Safety crews, track is clear. All right, I see the greens going up. You're done in 3, 2, 1.
Green flag back out, ready to get back underway with this Big Rock River Products Red Line Racing Engine Championship feature here at the Great Stoneboro Fair. Night 1 of 2. We'll be back here again tomorrow. So still running, we've got Dane Clark, Josh Kuhn, the 501 of Mark Siopa, and Rich Reininger in the Psycho car.
Left front pushed back quite a ways on the cycle car. That's the black automobile buried in a plume of smoke that's limping around trying to get his steering to work. So we've narrowed the field of 11 down to 4. Here we go. We've got Psycho, Dane Clark, Josh Kuhn, and the 501 all still out there running and moving. Everybody's sort of in the same thing disrepair, with the exception maybe being the right-hander car, who has no steering at this point. Kuhn's had some problems with the right front corner, but at this point that wheel has stayed upright for him, not seeing too much of a hindrance as he moves it through the number of the Anarchy car driven by Dane Clark. Ooh, driver's door shot. Puts his hands up, lets him know it was unintentional on the 501. 501 using the backside, trying to go after the steering components on the Anarchy car. Now we see some more heavy steam being pushed out. It's coming from under the hood of the Anarchy car. Lost track of riding her for the moment. Riding her might be all through in the Psycho car, coming home fourth in the order. Looks like he's hung up on Rick Clark's entry. We see the 501 take a shot at the right rear corner of Dane Clark. The 11 now blocking the path, trading off now. Mark Cyber goes at the left front corner of the number 11, Josh Kuhn. A lot of backfire and popping going on for the Anarchy car. Barely whipping around now. Definitely has some issues developing under the hood.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Right front wheel now laying over on the 11 off Kuhn. Mark Sliopa in the 501, taking his shots, just picking and choosing. The pinion brake beginning to spark now on the rear end of the 501. Blowing red hot, looks like that caliper may have hung up. Got awful quiet out there. It looks like Dane Clark may have just stalled it. And as hot as that thing was, I don't think he's going to get it refired. You hear the popcorn pop on the firing once again, so it sounds like now you can see he has been able to get that refired, but still whipping around somewhat on life support. No steering. A problem for the number 11 is the 501. Tries to box him in. These steering problems. It's stretched out pretty far on the number 11. It looks like that left front tire is still responding a little bit as he tries to rock this thing back and forth. Just pure muscling it, trying to get it to a point where he can make active contact one more time. Here comes the 501. Going after the number 11. Sounds like the 501 now also might be getting a little hot. As he goes in one more time, crashes in that right side. Dane Clark as he continues to pop like a popcorn popper. Clark able to refire one more time in the Anarchy car. That's doing, shoving him right in on the wall. What a shot that turned out to be, man. And the Anarchy car just got awful quiet. And it sounds like Hewins might be silent as well. Trying to push some black smoke. There's some flames coming out of it. And Energy. Dane Clark able to refire again. I tell you, when they hit against this wall right in front of the stage, you can feel it shake the whole stage. They are carrying some serious momentum. When these choruses crash into one another, the nose on the cycle car really standing up tall now. Bumper pushing back quite a ways. Clark desperate to try and keep his car running and moving. I can't believe that Anarchy car is still running. Unbelievable. Great drive by Dane Clark.
That car's way overheated. That car's way overheated.
It's a little hot, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't sound too good.
No, no, it does not. Now navigating down the track is the 501, following the 11 of Hewins. Want to remind everybody we're going to try this again tomorrow. We'll be live right here from Stoneboro. And then after that, September the 19th, we'll be live at the Kings of Old School Team Show in Whitney Point, New York. Then we do a DVD date with the Brookfield Wheel Days. At the same time, we're going to send the other cameras all the way out to Dunkirk to cover the Lake Erie Rumble. Take a little bit of time off, and then we are back on the road October the 24th with another live stream event planned at the Chaos in the Valley show, second annual Chaos in the Valley at the Shenandoah County Fairgrounds in Woodstock, Virginia. And after that, we head up to Blizzard Bash in Topeka, Kansas. Hewins trying to just back him in, get the 501 to sink himself. Playing wise right now, not generating a lot of tire spin when they are wedged nose to nose, trying to get him to overheat the transmission. Just pack as much heat into that car as he can. You can hear the tires spinning on that dry part of the surface now that they have unearthed. What a battle this is turning into.
It's like a push-off. Just pushing each other.
You think Josh can do it?
I don't know. I mean, I think he can. Oh, Mark got free.
So
Let's see what he can do.
Let him free, exactly right. Let him get out.
Swinging him in.
Wasn't able to make contact with him, however, and now trying to wedge him in one more time, get him stuck. Heck of a chess match being waged between these two drivers now. So we see the 501, Mark Sliopa pulling away, getting a little bit of room to work with. Backs it up in a high rate of speed and does not make it. Gonna try it one more time, backs it up, and this time we make contact with the front end of the number 11. 11's got to be careful. This is So the chess match continuing to be played, cat and mouse, with the 501 and the 11 trying to limp their way into victory lane at this point. The front end pushed way back on that Riviera. Look at the nose on that 501, Mark Triopa. Just jacked way up in the air. Refired there for the stall briefly, continuing to get packed in. Steering situation going from bad to worse on the number 11 as he's lost more control. Having trouble navigating out of this predicament. The 501, obviously the aggressor. The 60-second shot clock has been enacted on the number 11. He has not made a hit. He's rocking back and forth, but he's not making active contact. The 501 has an opening, trying to wedge him in right now. Trying to close it out right here. Stoneboro Fair. If he can make one more shot and wedge it in, and wisely, Josh Stevens gets out of it. Now he's trying to do the same thing one more time over by the disabled on the club vehicle. That's a blue 454. Just shoved him like a like a bulldozer. Josh is trying to get out of there. He's not in a real good spot right now. What Martin's doing, trying not to give up too much ground, because if he gives up too much ground, it'll let the 11 get away. He's trying to keep him pinned in with the hopes he's going to be able to squeeze him in between the Talbot car and the Anarchy car. Right there at the top of the screen, you can see him in the background. Motor sounds good, still running strong. Mark being patient with his shot, trying to find the shot that he wants. He's got one right there. Trying to get the 11 hung up now. It almost worked. And now he's trying to get him hung and stuck and pinned. This could be the beginning of the end. Using the dead car to his advantage. Ron McClung, his 454, going to play into the outcome of the Stoneboro Weld Championship. $1,000 to win right now. The 501 backs it up. He's got the 11 stuck. Shot clock definitely enacted. Don't hit him too hard. He's going to knock him free. Goes right back to the well. One more time, trying to pin him in tighter. The 11 backing up. He's got himself free. And they come meeting headlight to headlight, front and center. 501 still appears to be in control as we move through this. certainly the more mobile at this juncture as the back end opened way up on the 501. Mark Siopa, the 11, can't do anything but move forward. Now Siopa pulling a long ways away, trying to get a lot of room to work with. Elects to turn around. He's going to back it up. What he's doing right now, he's using up a lot of shot clock. So with all this time that he's taking idling backwards, the 60-second shot clock is still running on the number 11, and he has to make active contact. So the 501, nice and patient, trying to make sure that he is exactly the spot that he wants him to be in before he takes the shot. Goes ahead, drives forward now again, trying to milk that clock as best as possible. US takes the stick down. That's going to do it. Your winner in the 501, Mark Siopa.
Way to drive, Mark Siopa.
You kind of called it we were talking about it in between. What a run.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on the outcome of that thing?
That was pretty good driving. I mean,
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
You going to come back over here tomorrow?
I might.
We're going to be back here again tomorrow. Here, Stoneboro Fair. The Super Stocks on the card, along with the Pro Mods Compacts, also on the docket. Heats and feature format for the Pro Mods. If you like what you see tonight, a lot of these cars are going to go to the welder, put in some kickers, get them ready to come on back. Not too shabby right there. Could have been you, Todd Siopa. That could have been you. That could have been you.
That's what I said. Didn't get me too far.
So here we go. Well, we appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us here at the Stoneboro Fair. Anybody that you want to say hi to before we sign off for the night?
No.
No? No, you're good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope to see you again tomorrow. I'm going to need help up here.
All right. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Good run tonight.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank
You
you.
got to turn the webcam on so everybody can see us. But that is going to do it for us tonight from the Stoneboro Fair. We had a trying 3 hours with you, but nonetheless, we were able to get through all of it, get this show out there, and it looked like everybody was able to at least enjoy the main event here at the Stoneboro Fair. Our winner, 501, Mark Siopa. Second place going to Josh Chewins, the 11th. Third place, the Anarchy car, Dane Clark. That is going to do it for us. Once again, appreciate everybody hanging out with us and being part of the conclusion of the Wreckless Warriors 2015 tour. We're going to be back here to put the fork in it, the Stoneboro Fair, one more time tomorrow. So for Austin Hartzell, who ran the camera, Donnie Hartzell was here with us, our guest, Todd Siopa, and of course, young Mr. Henshaw here. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
The 2015 Wadena Grand Slam, Full Lockwood Motorsports, and the 2015 Keystone National. Siopa Racing and SiopaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Demo Derby Master. Reckless Abandon Derby apparel at recklessabandongear.com. And Derby Inc. magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc.
Come on. Come on. You leave this right on here? No, take that off. That'll go in this one here.